Auckland Transport's $47 million plan to upgrade the only road in and out of Devonport could be dead in the water. 4 members of the local community board have quashed proposals for more cycle and transit lanes on Lake Road, used by 30,000 motorists a day. It means that funding is probably off the table, leaving locals worried they'll be contending with traffic chaos on the 2-lane road for another decade before a new plan can be formed. Nick Munro and Todd filed this report.
Everyone on the North Shore has a story about Lake Road's traffic woes.
I can't leave where I am at Mount Wellington until at least 11:15, and even today when I came across, it was phenomenal.
If I want to spend 2 hours delivering, I would use Lake Road at a bad time. If I want to get around the deliveries quickly, I use either the back roads, I don't go on Lake Road, or I go at a time when there's no cars on it, which isn't very often.
It can take you anything up to 3/4 an hour to get onto the motorway.
And everyone fancies a different solution to hasten their trips on the only road in and out of the peninsula.
Have a third lane which is directional, out in the morning and back in the afternoon.
Better cycle lanes and transit lanes that encourage people into carpooling.
Well, I actually think they need to widen it, make more lanes, so people can manoeuvre and get here more quickly where they're going.
Auckland Transport has also spent 3 years and $2 million coming up with a solution, which it released for public consultation in March. It included transit lanes in the most congested parts of Esmond Road and Lake Road, new and spruced up bike lanes, and electronic signs with estimated travel times. It was all set to get the green light with $47 million of funding from Auckland Council's long-term plan. But just before the detailed business case was due to go before the Transport Agency in September for final approval, the plan was shot down by 4 of 6 Devonport Takapuna local board members this month. Trish Deans is among those who voted against it, worried it won't future-proof public transport, doesn't take into account the future expansion of Devonport, and won't help local residents who don't need to travel very far.
AT have come up with a plan, and I don't think they've been entirely honest with the public. Their plan is to also address some issues on Lake Road, but actually impose the Greenways plan on Lake Road as well. So that creates a kind of tension.
Auckland Transport says the general direction of its planning has always been clear. It says the local board had initially voted to support that direction, so its decision this month came as a surprise. A member of the working group that came up with the plan, Stafford-Bush, was also surprised.
It's ridiculous. I think it's because people are too frightened to put a stake in the ground and say, this is the way forward, this is what we should be doing. We will take into account the other ones, let's find a way.
In a statement, Auckland Transport said it can't widen the road because that goes against its strategic objectives and probably wouldn't be eligible for funding from the council or the Transport Agency. Among board members who do like Auckland Transport's plan is Tony Van Tonder, who says it was well worth taking up the $47 million and acknowledging the huge difference it will make to many residents. She thinks it could already be too late to recover that funding.
It definitely had support, for sure, also because it was saying what it was always going to say, that we were never going to do this high investment proposal that some people are asking for.
But former North Shore Mayor George Wood, another board member who voted against it, is still holding out hope the board can make some tweaks and reach a compromise with Auckland Transport. He's not so worried about the $47 million being a missed opportunity.
I think, that was a shotgun at our heads, virtually saying, take it or you'll lose it.
Stafford-Bush says the board needs to adopt the plan in principle and work around the finer issues later. With a $500 million hole forecast in Auckland Council's revenue and other communities crying out for funding for their traffic woes, Tony Van Tonder agrees. Auckland Transport warns it may be difficult to progress a project that a local board has already voted against. In Auckland, for Checkpoint, call Katie Todd, TNA.